good morning, and welcome to the Brenda Perryman Show right here on TV 33 WHPR. Comcast 90 in Detroit and Oakland County. Welcome, Oakland County, to the show. And we're excited to be here because it's such a beautiful day. And I hope you had a nice Mother's Day. When was that? Was that last week? Time is going by so fast. And then we have Memorial Day this week. So it's just life is going by fast. Make the best of it, everybody. I have a very, very good show for you today. I have Mayor William Wild, who is running for Wayne County Executive, and you need to hear this man out, I believe. And because you have some of the same old names who are also running against him, but he's made some progress in Westland that I think that you should know about again. And let's talk about what he plans to do. And also in the second segment, I have Dr. Margaret Betts, and we're going to be here talking about middle age and what you should start doing to prepare for a healthy, more mature age. And I'd like to introduce my first guest to you. He's been on before. He's a friend of the show, Mayor William Wild. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Brenda, and it's nice to be back on the show here today.
Oh, it's great to have you back. Great to have you back. What have you been doing in your travels lately?
Well, I can tell you that we've been campaigning 7 days a week. We've been on the campaign trail for a long time now, but I can tell you I'm really having a lot of fun. I'm meeting a lot of nice people, and I can tell you as I get out around Wayne County and all 43 communities, people are ready for change in the Wayne County Executive's office.
I know they are. I mean, I'm supposed to be not political, but I know they have to be. You know, there's something about politicians that get me because I don't know how people continue to put themselves out there. I wrote something yesterday wherein I said, when I retired, I could have worked more years, but I wanted to leave on top. I mean, there's something about a good exit.
That's true. I think you're still on top myself, so I think you're doing great.
I was a teacher, and don't let people run you out. But before we even get into your platform and everything, let's once again tell our audience who you are. You're the mayor of Westland, right?
Yeah, Brenda, I've been the mayor of the city of Westland for the last 7 years, and prior to being the mayor, I served on the city council for 6 years. I'm also a small business owner. I own an automotive recycling business in the city of Wayne. Plus, I'm a father of 3. My wife, Sherry, she's a school teacher.
Yay.
6th grade science. I've got 3 little kids that they're so looking forward to Memorial Day weekend. But, you know, at the end of the day, in the city of Westland, we've really been able to make a lot of progress. You know, my residents know me as a 24/7 mayor. I'm always on the job. We take care of business. And I think that's one of the messages as they get across Wayne County that people are looking for in their next Wayne County executive. They want somebody that's on the job 24/7.
Right. And it isn't about so much about an ego with you. What are the things that you see in Wayne County that need to be repaired, basically?
Well, first of all, I mean, obviously the budget is a major thing. I mean, there's a $175 million deficit at the county.
Wait, how did we get there? And how would you repair that?
Well, you know, that's one of the things that when we talk about with all these other candidates that are running, you know, Wayne County didn't get in this mess overnight. It's not something that happened overnight. This has been going on for a long time, so we're going to have to change.
How long a time?
Well, I can tell you that, you know, Wayne County, this deficit, the structural deficit they're talking about, this has been going on for a long time. I can tell you that when you talk about the scandals and you talk about the corruption, you talk about the wasted tax dollars, the friends and family packages, all these crazy pensions, this has been going on for a long time. So this has got to change. And this is what people, when I talk with people, this is why they want somebody from the outside coming in. They like it, what we've done in the city of Westland. It's one of the largest cities in Wayne County. We've turned around Westland. You know, Westland was looking at going bankrupt back in 2009.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you. What happened? Now, you've been mayor there for 7 years.
Yes.
So that means, what, 2006 or?
2007.
7, okay. 2007. And what kind of shape was it in when you became mayor?
I can tell you, Westland, when I became mayor in 2007, it was just before the housing market crashed, and Westland's annual budget is $60 million. It's a big city. I can tell you in 2009, after the property value started to crash, our auditor sat down with us and they told us that by the year 2014, the city of Westland would have a $50 million deficit. Well, today we're in the year 2014, and we have a 3-year balanced budget with a $5.5 million surplus.
How did you do that?
Well, I can tell you that what we did is we didn't wait for the state to come in and help us out. We didn't wait for an emergency manager. What we did is we sat down with our unions. I'm a business guy, so what we did is we brought our expenses in line with our revenues. We had to shrink our operations. We did it compassionately. We partnered up with other communities. I merged my fire department with the city of Wayne, my parks and recreation department. We started sharing employees with other cities. What we did, Brenda, was we actually were able to protect services, balance our budget, not go to war with our unions, and without raising taxes. So we've got a formula that works. When I get around Wayne County, these are the type of things that when I start talking with residents, they get excited about. They say, we see Westland's turned around. We have friends that live in Westland. A lot of your police officers in Detroit, they live in Westland, so they'll vouch for us.
Yeah, people are kind of mad about that. But I do know people who have moved into Westland recently, and they love Westland. In fact, a street I used to live on as a child turned into Westland, and that was Power Street.
Yeah.
And I lived there till, for a couple of years. I left before kindergarten, but I remember that street well because a dog jumped on me and threw me in a puddle. But that's neither here. That was a flashback from the past. It looks nice. I drove through there last summer, and it looks pretty clean.
We've come a long way, and the thing that's important about this race, probably more than anything else, is the talent and the skill set of the person that you pick as your next Wayne County executive. When you take a look at the city of Westland, we've been able to turn Westland around in the toughest of economies. When you talk about Wayne County, we're going to have to make some serious changes. I'm the only candidate, Brenda, that actually has experience turning around one of Wayne County's largest cities, a city that was in financial distress, and we turned it around. So we've got a formula that works, and it would work in Wayne County as well.
I think you need a business person. I honestly do. A business person who knows how to be fair and equitable, though. I have to insert that because Governor Snyder is a business person without a heart. But seriously.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely correct, and this is the thing that you need to look at as well. When I sit down with when I sit down with the labor unions in Wayne County, and they tell me this every day. Every candidate that comes in tells us, well, if you endorse me, if I'm elected, this is what I'm going to do. I can tell you in the city of Westland, we would not have been able to turn around the city of Westland if we went to war with our unions. We needed our unions. We needed our labor to come to the table and help us. They did so. So I've been able to turn around Westland with the support of labor. I've got all 5 of my unions that are backing me. They don't want to see me leave. They like the way that we operate and the way that we move things forward in the city of Westland.
How many cities are in Wayne County?
There's 43.
Gee, 43.
43 cities, townships.
Name a city or a township that I know the regulars.
Yeah, well, if you start at Detroit and you work your way out, you're going through your Dearborns and Livonias and Westlands and Canton and Garden City, Inkster. You get out in the Northvilles and then you go south into the Bellevilles and the Van Buren townships and Sumter and downriver through the Wyandottes, the Lincoln Parks, the Inland Parks.
I thought Sumter Township was just about in Washtenaw. I didn't know that. So the next...
Well, there's a lot of good people there.
Oh, yeah. The next county over is Washtenaw.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay. Under Wayne County Executive William Wild, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Well, there's going to be a few things. The first thing we're going to do is we have got to get a handle on the budget because you cannot start moving things forward until you balance the budget. Otherwise, you spend all your time trying to figure out what you're going to cut next. But the second thing we're going to do, and this is actually going to start on day one as well, we have got to change the image of the county. Right now, when you talk about Wayne County, you get visions of a failed jail that pop into your mind.
Yeah,
Scandals, FBI, all those negative connotations.
and friends and family. It just seems like people were in cahoots, and then people ended up getting arrested.
That's the thing that's got to change, and that's why when I talk with people, they get excited because I haven't been part of that. I haven't been on the county payroll. I'm not telling people that if you pay me more money and give me a better job, I'll do better the next time around. I'm coming from the outside. We've got experience. And I think the third thing that we're going to do, and this is the part that has helped me in the city of Westland as a mayor. I'm a mayor that gets it. It's not about the pensions and the severance packages. It's about taking care of the residents. We're gonna start taking care of the residents of Wayne County, the taxpayers.
How are you going to do that?
We're gonna start delivering service again. First of all, it's gonna be customer service. When you call us, we're gonna be polite. We're gonna take care of you. You're not gonna have to go into the phone queue, and we're gonna take care of you. If there's a county street that's in your neighborhood, we're gonna take care of it. If there's county parks that are in your neighborhood, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna return the service to the residents because for so long it's not been about the residents, but that's what it should be about.
We have a call from Tom. Good morning, Tom.
Yeah, good morning, Brenda. How are you?
Just fine, thanks.
And good morning, Mr. Wild.
Good morning.
Mayor Wild, I should say. I've got a question in regards to the finances of of Westland. And I know Mr. Wild is running for county executive, and I figured that, if you're running a real tight ship and, financially things are okay there, I think it can transition and bridge over from Westland to Wayne County. What is Wayne County's, what is Westland's financially physical shape? Is the budget balanced? Is there a deficit? Have there been any, say, concessions asked of workers? You know what I'm saying? And I'll listen off air.
Well, that's a great question. I appreciate you asking that. In the city of West End, our annual budget is $60 million. Right now, in the city of West End, we have a 3-year balanced budget with a $5.5 million surplus. And I'll take you back earlier when I said in 2009 and 2014, we were projecting to have a $50 million deficit. So we've got a balanced budget, and I can tell you this year we've got $20 million worth of capital improvement projects going on in our city that we're able to afford that now because we have a balanced budget. We're doing a new city hall, a new fire station, a new farmers market, road projects, and we're doing all those projects without asking our residents for more tax dollars. So we've got a success story there that I think can translate to Wayne County, and that's something that we're looking to do.
Right. Tom? Oh, he's gone. I think that's great because you have, I guess the county is the macrocosm, and you've done the microcosm, is Westland.
I think that's a great way to put it. And there's other
You can use it in your campaign.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to
microcosm.
put a little asterisk there with Brenda Perryman. So,
Yeah.
Brenda, there's a lot of candidates that are going to say that they ran a department or they've been part of the state legislature. When you're a mayor, when you run a city in Westland, the mayor is the CEO of this city. You're in charge of everything. You're accountable for everything. I oversee the police department, the fire department, the finance department, parks and recreation departments, the assessing. All that falls under the mayor. So I would say that over my last 7 years, I've been battle tested, to say the least.
Well, let's talk about the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office and how they've been having so many shortfalls. What can you do to help that office?
Well, this is something that I think that I really can help out with a lot. I've got a long-standing relationship with the prosecutor. I think we're so fortunate in Wayne County to have probably the finest and the most passionate,
yes,
definitely the most passionate and talented prosecutor in the country. And as I've sat down with her and we've talked about her budget and the shortfalls, and the one thing that the first I'll say is her relationship with the county executive, I'd say, is fractured at the very least, to say the very least. But the second thing is she gets it. She's a countywide elected official. She knows that there's a deficit in the county. She's willing to work with the county executive. She says to this point she has not felt respect, and she has not seen any shared sacrifice from the county executive's office. With that said, my promise to her has been that what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and we're going to recreate the entire budget, and instead of taking a budget, and the prosecutor's budget over the years has been cut, and eventually you can't do the service that you need to do and that residents want. We're going to make sure that public safety is an issue. It's easy for politicians to say that, but I'm telling you that as the mayor of the city of Westland, I've learned early on that public safety is number one.
And it's the elephant in the room that some people don't want to talk about, but it's very true.
It is true, and I can tell you that as I've talked with the prosecutor about those, she needs more prosecutors. We got to get these rape kits caught up. I can't even fathom how we fell so far behind those rape kits, and the county executive's asking her to go out and do fundraising. And I can tell you, as I've been talking with those folks in the private sector and the foundations, there's private money out there that wants to get involved. And I know as county executive, I can bring those dollars to the table. We're going to help the prosecutor get those rape kits caught up. But what we're going to do once and for all is we're finally going to get that department funded to the level that it needs to be. And a lot of people are going to say, okay, so where are you going to come up with that money at?
Right.
I can tell you that we're going to start off with the executive's office, because the county executive just turned in a $175 million deficit reduction plan. There was not one single dollar that was being cut from the executive's office.
What?
In Westland, I cut my appointees a third. That was 6 appointees. I saved $1 million a year. And I can tell you that the county executive has close to 200 appointees. So as we start to bring our management in line, that's going to free up some extra dollars that we can reallocate towards public safety.
Okay, next question. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office. I have to get all these offices that have been griping.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up the Sheriff's Department too, because as I've been getting out throughout the communities, the one thing besides helping the prosecutor get her budget in line, the other thing that I keep hearing in every community is that residents want, not residents, mayors, city managers, township supervisors, they need, and they expect to see a visible Wayne County Sheriff's Department on the street. You know, I know that we're mandated to operate the jail, but we've turned into putting all of our sheriffs inside the jail. We need to get those sheriffs back on the streets where we need them.
Now, what does the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, what do they patrol? Because I know we have the Detroit Police and everything, but I'm just trying to get, what do they patrol?
You know, I know that they've got some arrangements with a few communities, and I know they've got an arrangement with Inkster, and we've had arrangements with them in the past in Westland. I'm not sure exactly which details they still have in place, but I can tell you that's one of the things, when I talk about public safety, the prosecutor's office is a part of that. But the Sheriff's Department is just as major of a part. So as we reinvent the budget of Wayne County, we've got to start with these two budgets. We've got to get them budgeted to the levels that our residents want, need, and expect, and what they're paying for.
Right, absolutely. What is your relationship with Benny Napoleon?
You know, I have a great relationship with Sheriff Napoleon and a great relationship with Prosecutor Kim Worthy. You know, I've worked with both of them as mayors. I've got to know them a little bit more intimately as I've been on the campaign trail, but I know I've already in the past had a working relationship with both, and I expect it to only be better and to actually be true partners with them as a county executive.
Now, how many people, or what is the population of Wayne County?
Wayne County is 1.8 million.
Wow. You know, they were just saying yesterday that Detroit is below 700,000 itself. And do you find, is there a lot of growth in the other cities in Wayne County?
Well, you have seen some of the suburb numbers go up, and I believe this was in the News or Free Press yesterday.
Yes,
they talked about that. But you know, at the end of the day, when you look at the census back in 2010, Wayne County was losing residents. So we're losing residents because we can no longer compete. You know, there's got to, and this is a key point as I talk with families around Wayne County, is first of all they say you can't tax us out of our homes, you can't tax us out of our neighborhoods. And the other thing is there's got to be opportunities here. There's got to be something. My wife tells me this every night. We've got 3 small children. She says, when they get out of school and they go to college, is there going to be opportunities for them here in Wayne County? So that's something that as a Wayne County executive that we've got to do. We've got to be able to create opportunities. And once we get that black cloud away from Wayne County, when we can start focusing on investment and job opportunities, I think that's when we're really, really going to start to see the turnaround.
Well, how does a county executive and his staff create job opportunities? Do you bring businesses in? What is it? What do you do?
Well, it comes down to economic development. And, I know that in the past, the county executive has made several trips to China. I still haven't seen any of those result in job opportunities in Wayne County. But I can tell you that we're competing against Oakland County. We're competing against Macomb County every day for businesses. And the way that we get them here is, first of all, we got to get rid of these scandals, because right now it's hard to have credibility to sit down and ask folks to invest millions of dollars in infrastructure in Wayne County when they're nervous, they're afraid. They see these FBI investigations and cronyism, and they're concerned. But once we can move that black cloud out of the way, and if we can do this in a way where we can balance the budget without raising a lot of taxes on our businesses and our homeowners, then all of a sudden we've got opportunity. And I think that in Detroit and Wayne County, there's more opportunities here than Oakland and Macomb County. So I think the county executive, if we're focusing on job creation, economic development.
I mean, you say there are more. How do people find out about them?
Well, we've got to do a better job of marketing ourselves. What we're doing right now is we're spending all of our money defending ourselves.
Yeah.
In court, we need to get out ahead of that. We got to show people that there's opportunity here, that there's investment opportunities here, and that's something that we've got to be working for. I've been able to market the city of Westland, and the city of Westland, we don't have that defined downtown. We're not on the water. We're a blue collar town. We've been able to market ourselves as the all-American city. I brought in $200 million worth of economic development in Westland during the recent downturn. So a lot of it comes to how you market your city, the image of your city, and you've got to be business friendly as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it seems like you have a plan. I was just thinking when you were talking about that, you've been able to save money and everything without people feeling that they've suffered.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that sounds dramatic, but with a lot of things that are happening at the state level and so forth, we feel that people are suffering. Everybody has been impacted. Everyone. So, also Canton is in Wayne County, right?
That's true.
Now, Canton has experienced a lot of growth also.
They're actually just west of us. They're just west of us there. They have had a lot of growth. I can tell you that, as you talked about the pain, one of the things that we've been able to do in Westland is as we balance the budget is we haven't had to go back to our pensioners. And I know that's a hot topic.
Yes, hot topic.
Those are promises that we've made in Westland, and we've been able to honor those promises. And I know that's something that Wayne County, as I talk with a lot of employees and retirees, that's something that they're concerned about as well.
They ought to be concerned about it. And the fact that you haven't had to go to them, that is amazing. That's great.
That's just part of what we've tried to do is we've tried to work within our means. Once we brought our operations in line, our revenues and expenses in line, we worked with the dollars that we had instead of going back and starting to default on some of the promises that we earlier made.
Well, do you have any speeches coming up or that some of my viewers can come and see you talk or something like that?
Well, I can tell you that just, stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of county executive forums coming up. So we'll get back with you with some of those dates and times.
Please do.
We just opened up a big campaign office right down the street. Well, kind of right down the street. We're on Jefferson. We're right across the street from the UAW Solidarity House.
Oh, okay.
Next week, we're going to be opening up a campaign office that's on Livernois. It's going to be 1 block north of 7 Mile.
Oh, yeah.
And I can tell you that this thing's really blowing up. We've got 3 separate crews that are on the street. We're knocking on doors every day. I've been knocking on doors. We've met a lot of great people, and I can tell you that as I get across the Wayne County, I know the Detroit Lions have hired a new head coach this year, and the Pistons just hired a new head coach.
It's time for new.
It seems like Wayne County's ready for a new head coach. What do you think?
It does. It does. It does. And the Tigers, I'm going to a Tigers game tomorrow, so I wish you the very best of luck. And when is the primary?
Well, the primary is going to be the major election. It's going to be August 5th, and we're going to have to ask everybody you got to come out. You got to vote in that Democratic primary. I forgot to mention earlier, I'm a Democratic mayor. You got to come out August 5th. That's going to be the election.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very, very much. Another wonderful interview with you, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Everyone, oh, you're welcome. Everyone, stay tuned for Dr. Margaret Betts and have your questions ready. And we'll see you in just a moment.